For years I searched in other hearts for someone to play the part of filling every empty space and helping me feel safe. I thought love lived outside of me and who chose to stay with me. But every road I wandered through brought me back to the truth. The love I waited for so long was inside me all along. I became the love I needed, the voice that always believed in me, the arms that held me through the night and made things right. I stopped waiting to be saved or endlessly chased, and found a strength that never leaves, living inside me. I learned to celebrate my wins and forgive where I've been, to speak to myself with kindness too, like I wished you'd do. I stopped measuring my worth by what I thought I deserved from someone who couldn't understand the heart I had. The moment I chose myself, everything else began to heal. I became the love I needed and finally completed the pieces I once gave away to make others stay. Now every sunrise feels brand new with a clearer view, and every dream I hold is free because it belongs to me. I used to think self-love was lonely, but it's the warmest home I've ever known. And now I carry it with me everywhere I go. I became the love I needed, and my heart finally believed it. No longer searching far and wide for what's inside. The woman standing here today won't fade away, and every beat inside her soul now says, I became the love I needed. I spent so many nights at war with what happened before, replaying every memory of what we used to be. I carry questions in my hands like broken plans, trying to change what couldn't stay or fade away. Then I learned some battles, and the moment you stop fighting them, I chose peace over pain, sunshine over rain. I stopped living in yesterday and found my way. I released the hurt I couldn't heal and learned what's real. The moment I let go of the blame, for reasons why, or stare into the sky, wondering if you'd come back someday to hear me say the words I never got to speak when I was weak. Because now my heart understands what healing demands. Peace isn't something you find outside, it's something you choose inside. I chose peace over pain and freedom over chains. The weight I carry disappeared along with fear. I don't need closure from your hands to understand that my life can still become everything I want. For a long time I thought moving on meant forgetting you, but it really meant remembering myself. I chose peace over pain, and I would choose it again. Every scar became a guide, standing by my side. The woman standing here today won't lose her way, and every beat inside her heart explains. I chose peace over pain. I used to fear the word goodbye, like it meant my heart would die, like every dream we used to share would disappear into the air. I held on tighter than I should, thinking someday you would turn around and change your mind, leaving the hurt behind. But endings have a purpose too, even when they break you. I found strength in goodbye beneath the stormy sky. The moment I released your hand, I learned to stand. Every tear became a stone, building my own road, and every step away from pain made me strong again. The days grew brighter little by little, the hurt became more gentle. I stopped searching for what was gone and started moving on. I found pieces of myself again, beyond the pain. The dreams I left behind for you started coming true. Sometimes letting go is brave, sometimes it's how we save ourselves. I found strength in goodbye and learned how to fly without depending on your love. What I thought it was beautiful thing about healing. I found strength in goodbye, and I no longer ask why. Some people leave and never stay. They simply find their way. The woman I have grown into knows what is true, and every beat inside her heart replies. I found strength in goodbye. The bed felt twice as big somehow. The first few nights without you around, I reached across the empty space, searching for your place. The silence echoed through the room like shadows in the gloom. Every midnight felt so long without where you belonged. I thought I'd never get used to this, the quiet, the loneliness. I learned to sleep alone in a house that wasn't home, without your voice beside my ear or your presence near. Night after night I faced the dark and healed my heart, learning I was stronger than I knew without you. I stopped leaving on the light, stopped crying every night. The memories slowly lost their hold. As I grew bold, I found comfort in my own embrace and in my own space. The emptiness began to fade as new dreams were made. Sometimes healing happens quietly while nobody can see. I learned to sleep alone and stand on my own. The nights that once felt cold and long now make me strong. I don't fear the dark anymore like before, because I found a light inside of me that helps me see. I thought being alone meant being incomplete, but I was wrong. Being alone taught me how to belong to myself. I learned to sleep alone, and I finally grown. The woman who once feared the night now welcomes its light. Every dream I have today lights my way, and every beat inside my chest now proves favorite songs by heart from the start. I gave away my time and dreams and all my in-betweens, believing love meant sacrifice for life. I kept shrinking so you'd stay and lost myself along the way. I loved you more than myself, and that became my hell. I carried your storms, your fears, your pain like my own rain. I forgot the girl I used to be, trying to keep you with me. And the hardest truth I ever felt was loving you more than myself. I stopped doing things I loved, stopped rising above. Every choice began with you, like I had nothing else to do. I mistook exhaustion for devotion and pain for deep emotion, until my heart could barely breathe beneath the grief. Love should not erase your name to keep someone else the same. I loved you more than myself and left my soul on a shelf, waiting for the day you'd finally see what you meant to me. But no amount of giving can restore what one heart ignores. And now I'm learning something else, to love myself first. I thought selflessness made love stronger, but love is not disappearing for someone. It's being fully yourself and still being chosen. I loved you more than myself, but I won't do that anymore. The woman I'm becoming knows her worth and guards her heart. Every tear has taught me why I must stand by my own side, and every beat inside my chest now tells. For so many nights I replayed the past, trying to make the answers last, searching every memory for mistakes, and every chance I failed to take. I carried guilt upon my shoulders as the nights grew colder, thinking if I'd been enough somehow, you would still be here now. I spent years asking what if, while forgetting what is. I stopped blaming myself for things beyond my help, for every ending I couldn't change or rearrange. I finally put the burden down and turned around to see the truth I couldn't see. It wasn't all on me. Love takes two hearts willing to stay and choose each other every day. No amount of sacrifice can mend a love love that's reached its end. I gave the best that I could give and tried to live inside a dream that wasn't meant to be permanent. Forgiveness isn't forgetting the pain, it's releasing the blame. I stopped blaming myself and found a different kind of health, a peace that doesn't need to know why you chose to go. The mirror no longer shows regret or old debts, only a woman learning to be free and finally breathe. Maybe I was never the problem. Maybe I was just loving someone who couldn't love me the same way. And that's not my fault. I stopped blaming myself and chose somebody else, the person who deserved my care. The one right there, the woman standing here today, won't fade away. And every beat inside her heart now tells. I stopped blaming myself. Every evening after sunset, I sat where we first met, holding on to hope so small, waiting for your call. The clock kept moving on the wall through it all, but every hour sounded the same without your name. I told myself maybe tomorrow, while drowning in sorrow. I waited for your call, through spring, through summer, through fall, believing one ring could somehow mend a love that reached its end. I carry my phone everywhere like a silent prayer, but the only sound I came to know was the echo of letting go. Friends would tell me to move on, but I held on, thinking maybe you were missing me too, the way I missed you. I imagine hearing your voice again through all the pain, saying everything would be alright, and you'd come back tonight. Hope can be a beautiful thing and a painful thing. I waited for your call until I couldn't wait at all, until the silence finally taught me what I wasn't waiting for your voice. Maybe I was waiting for closure, and maybe closure was learning you weren't coming back. I waited for your call, but now I don't at all. The phone no longer owns my nights or dims my light, because somewhere between the tears and pain I learned again that life goes on beyond these walls. I waited for your call. I stood at the edge of everything I knew, between the old and the new, the past behind me like a fading song that I no longer belong. The air felt different in my lungs, like freedom had begun, and for the first time I could see a new version of me. I didn't need to turn around to know I was finally found. I walked into my new life, out of the struggle and strife. Every step felt light and true, like breaking through. The road ahead was mine to take, for my own sake. And every breath I learned to breathe was finally free. The chains I wore began to fall. I didn't feel them at all. The weight I thought would never leave was finally released. I met the girl I left behind in the silence of my mind, and told her everything is fine. It's your time. Sometimes the hardest goodbye is the one you say to the past. I walked into my new life, no longer defined by the night. The sunrise followed every step. I hadn't slept on dreams that once felt out of reach, now within my reach. And every fear I held before, I carry no more. I thought I was losing everything when I was really gaining myself. And that changes everything. I walked into my new life, no longer asking why, just trusting where my heart will go. And what I now know, that every ending leads to light after the fight. And every beat inside my chest agrees. This life of my mind, held what I left behind. I kept the door unlocked for years, through hopes and tears, thinking someday you'd return and my heart would learn. But some doors are meant to close so new ones can open. My heart finally let go, like autumn leaves in the wind that blow. The weight I've carried disappeared, along with fear. I stopped holding on to what was gone and moved along. And for the first time I could see a future waiting for me. The photographs don't hurt as much, the memories lost their touch. Your name no longer shakes my soul or steals control. I still remember all we had, the good and bad, but now they're just a part of me, not my destiny. Healing came when I stopped fighting and started accepting. My heart finally let go and found a brighter road. I don't need answers anymore. Like before, the questions faded with the rain and all the pain. Now every sunrise seems to say you're okay. I thought letting go meant losing everything, but it gave me everything back, including myself. My heart finally let go, and now I know some endings are a hidden start for a healing heart. The woman standing here today has found her way, and every beat inside her chest softly knows my heart finally let go. For a long time I believed you were the ending part of me, like everything would stop and fade the moment you walked away. I built my world around your name and carried all the blame, thinking I would never see a life beyond what used to be. But stories don't end when someone leaves, they just change what they need to be. My story didn't end with you, it broke me through into a version I had never known. On my own, the pages turned, the ink ran free, and finally I started writing who I am without your plan. I stopped reading the past like fate, stopped blaming late nights for everything that went wrong, I found my song. The chapters you were part of then don't define me again. They are just a place I passed through, not what I am to you. Not every love is meant to stay. Some are meant to change your way. My story didn't end with you. It simply grew into something bigger than the pain or the rain. I learned that endings can be kind in disguise, and every tear I cried before opened more. I used to think losing you meant losing me, but I was wrong. I was just meeting myself for the first time. My story didn't end with you. It started something new, a journey built on strength and light and inner sight. The woman I was meant to be is finally free, and every beat inside her heart now says my story didn't end with you. I spent so long looking outside for something to fill the void inside, thinking love was something I must chase to find my place. I gave my heart away so fast, believing it would always last. But every road I walked through pain led me back again. What I searched for in someone else was waiting in myself. The best thing I found was me. Finally I can see I was never truly lost at all. Through every fall I was learning how to rise through my own eyes, and every tear that shaped my past couldn't hold me back. I stopped needing validation from broken conversations, stopped depending on a love that fades like passing days. I learned to stand on my own ground without a sound, and realized I was always enough, even through the rough. The moment I chose my own name, everything else changed. The best thing was me, and that's all I need. No past can take this truth away, or dim my day. I am no longer who I was before. I am something more, and every beat inside my heart now says the best thing I found was me. For so long I ran behind a love that changed its mind, trying to catch what used to be between you and me. Every message, every call felt like climbing a wall, hoping you'd finally turn around before I hit the ground. I was exhausted from the race and losing myself in the chase. The day I stopped chasing you was the day I started breaking through. I finally saw what I couldn't see. You were running toward me. I let the silence be the truth instead of chasing proof. And for the first time in a while, I found my smile. I stopped checking every screen, wondering what things mean. Stopped waiting for a change of heart or a brand new start. I learned that love should never feel like a spinning wheel, going nowhere, round and round, while wearing me down. The more I let go of you, the closer I came to me. The day I stopped chasing you, I found a different view. The world was bigger than my pain. Beyond the rain, I realized my worth was never tied to your reply. And every step I took away led me to today. Maybe love isn't meant to be pursued. Maybe it's meant to meet you halfway. And if it doesn't, it's not yours to carry alone. The day I stopped chasing you, my heart finally knew that peace feels better than the fight. Every single night, the girl who once ran after love has risen above, and every beat inside her chest now sings. I stopped chasing and started living. There was a time I feared tomorrow, certain it would bring more sorrow. I couldn't picture life ahead without the dreams we left for dead. Every road looked cold and long, every step felt wrong. I stood at the edge of the unknown, feeling so alone. But healing changed the way I see what waits in front of me. The future doesn't scare me anymore like it did before. The open sky feels wide and free, calling out to me. I don't need every answer now or every reason how, because I've learned to trust the road and lighten the load. The dreams I placed upon a shelf are waking up themselves. The plans I thought I'd never make are mine to take. I see possibility instead of fear, growing clearer every year. The life I thought was out of reach is within my reach. I stopped fearing what I cannot know and started letting myself grow. The future doesn't scare me anymore. I've opened every door. The heartbreak that once held me down can no longer drown the woman I am becoming now. Has made a vow to welcome every chance she sees and trust her wings. The unknown used to frighten me, now it feels like freedom, because anything can happen, and that's beautiful. The future doesn't scare me anymore. It's something worth exploring for. Every sunrise brings a chance for a new dance, and every dream inside my soul is taking control, while every beat inside my heart declares the future doesn't scare me anymore. For the longest time I couldn't find the girl I left behind. She hid beneath the hurt and tears and all those wasted years. I stopped laughing like I used to do, stopped chasing skies of blue, lost in a story that wasn't mine for far too much time. Then one morning something changed. The clouds began to break. The girl inside me returned after everything I learned. She brought back colors to my days and brighter ways. The light I thought I'd lost forever left me never. It was waiting patiently return. Returned. My phone still lights up late at night, and for a moment it feels right. I think maybe it's finally you, doing what you said you'd do. But every notification fades away, and another lonely day leaves me staring at the empty screen, wondering what could have been. I kept waiting for words that never came, holding on to hope just the same. The last message you never sent left me wondering what it meant. Was there a goodbye you couldn't say, or did you simply walk away? I searched for answers in the silence, fighting my own mind's violence, but all I found was endless night and the fading light. I reread our old conversations like forgotten destinations, looking for a clue I missed in every wish. The promises still live inside my head, though the feelings bled, and every word we used to share still lingers there. Sometimes silence says more than words, more than anything I've heard. The last message you never sent became the question where my heart went. I waited for a reason why instead of one more goodbye, but closure never came to me. It drifted out to sea and left me learning how to stand without your hand. Maybe there was never a message at all. Maybe your silence was the answer, the answer I never wanted but needed to hear. The last message you never sent no longer keeps me wondering where it went, because I've learned some stories end without one final sentence. And though the memory still remains like gentle rain, I know tomorrow I will see the message I needed was already inside me. I found an old photograph today, tucked in a drawer and hidden away. A frozen smile from years ago, a love I used to know. I stared at it for quite a while, remembering every mile we traveled through, the highs and lows, before the ending showed. The picture looked the same as before, but I wasn't anymore. The memories lost their power, like autumn leaves after a shower. They no longer pull me back in time or cloud my mind. The stories live inside my heart, but don't tear it apart. And for the first time I can say inside my soul or in my chest. I've learned to rest. The places where we used to go don't hurt like before. They're simply roads I walked upon before moving on. I stopped fighting yesterday, and it slowly faded away. The memories lost their power, hour after hour. Every tear became a lesson learned, and every bridge I burned led me closer to myself again. Beyond the pain, and now I see the brighter view. Forgetting was healing, but healing is remembering without breaking. The memories lost their power, and with every passing hour, I found a peace I never knew. When I still held on to you, the woman standing here today has found her way, and every beat inside her heart allows the memories to rest now. You stopped asking how my day had been, like you once did back then. The spaces between our words grew wide, and I felt it inside. The conversations faded slow, more than you'll ever know. And every pause became a sign that you were no longer mine. You never said the words out loud, but I heard them somehow. The silence said everything, more than words could ever bring. It told me your heart had moved away, though you chose not to say. Every unanswered message, every empty night, every missing fight spoke louder than 1,000 goodbyes. Right before my eyes, I searched for meaning in your voice, and every choice, trying to find the love we knew, still shining through. But the distance living in your eyes couldn't disguise the truth that neither one of us wanted to discuss. Some endings don't arrive with a sound, they arrive when silence settles down. The silence said everything, like a bell that didn't ring. It told me the story had reached its end without needing explanation. I waited for a different sign, a different line, but the quiet answered every question without a confession. Maybe that's why it hurts so much, not because of what you said, but because of everything you stopped saying. The silence day felt like the night. The colors faded from the sky, and dreams passed me by. I walked through shadows all alone, trying to find my way back home, believing happiness had gone and wouldn't return. But even the longest night must end, and morning always comes again. Reminded me why. I started opening my curtains wide and letting hope inside. The little things began to shine like signs of life. Came back naturally, and so did me. The woman I thought I had lost returned at any cost. I stopped waiting for the world to change, and change the way I saw the world. The sun rose for me again and washed away the pain. The tears that once fell every night turned into light. I learned that healing doesn't rush or ask too much. It simply arrives when the heart decides to open its eyes. I thought the darkness would last forever, but forever was shorter than I feared. And here I am, still shining. The sun rose for me again, and I welcome every morning in the woman standing in the glow. Finally knows that every storm she walked through then led her here again, and every beat inside her heart now sings. The sun rose for me again. Tonight I opened up the box of photographs and old love notes. The memories came rushing back like waves along the shore. I held the pieces of the past and let them fill the room. One final time before I closed the chapter of me and you. I thought I'd cry forever, but forever finally ended. The tears fell one last time, night, then said goodbye. I remembered every promise made, every dream that slowly faded, the laughter and the pain we shared, the love that disappeared. But something felt different this time. The weight was lighter on my mind. The memories no longer held the power they once held. Healing arrived quietly when I stopped resisting it. The tears fell one last time and carried away what wasn't mine. Every wound began to close like a fading rose. The ache inside my chest grew small after all. The tears fell one last time tonight and set me free. I used to fear this moment, the moment I stopped missing you. But now I understand, it means I've healed. The tears fell one last time underneath the stars that shine. And when the morning finally came, nothing felt the same. The woman standing in the light had survived the night, and every beat inside her heart replied. The tears fell one last time. I remember standing in the rain, trying to hide the pain, watching your shadow fade away at the end of the day. I thought you'd stop and turn around before leaving town, but your footsteps never slowed down that lonely road. I waited for one last glance, one last chance. You left without looking back, like nothing we had could last, like every promise we once made could simply fade. I stood there holding broken dreams and silent screams, watching the love I thought was forever disappear forever. The wind carried your goodbye away, leaving only yesterday. The memories danced around my mind like echoes left behind. I wanted to call your name aloud above the clouds, but something in my heart just knew I had lost you. Sometimes the hardest part to to bear is knowing they no longer care. You're left without looking back, and my world cracked. Every step you took away from me set a memory free. I kept hoping you'd return somehow, but I know now some doors close without a sound and stay closed. I used to wonder if you missed me too, if you ever looked back after all. But healing began